Good afternoon. Today is Thursday, February 3rd, and I'm going to call our Community Programs Committee meeting to order. And we'll start by taking attendance.
Okay. Supervisor Puccioni, Councilperson Brennan, Councilperson Moskowitz, took me all to get that out, Linda O'Brien, and Chief in the back.
Thank you.
I'm here too.
I said you first.
Oh, I missed it. Thank you.
Okay, so we are going to have a motion to approve our minutes from our January 6th meeting. Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Motion passed. At this time, I'd like to open up to public comment. Is there anyone in attendance virtually? No? Okay. Next, we have items brought from the Highway Committee from Councilperson Moskowitz.
I don't have anything from Highway this morning. I did forward your appreciation to Ray, and he was going to send it on to his crews,
Thank you.
but
Thank you.
another report.
It was the coldest day of the year, and they were out there like troopers taking down the lights that I had going this way, up and down, sideways. It was a disaster, but they did it happily.
And he said he'll let them know.
Oh, good. Thank you.
Next, we'll move on to our community programs items with Lloyd Peretti. And our first item is universal application update.
Okay, the application is complete and will be posted on the website and blasted on Monday. The application will cover positions except for camp counselor because that position is filled from our counselor in training program. The deadline for applications will be April 1st, and interviews will be done on a rolling basis for qualified applicants. Does anybody have any questions?
So were you able to, is that including the pool jobs
Yeah,
as well?
Everything. Yep.
Oh, great.
All summer positions.
That's amazing. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. And actually, it's a great form to be using for going forward. A lot of them, I had multiple applications for different
Yeah.
departments. It just didn't make any sense.
It'll make it easier for everyone.
Absolutely.
Thanks for doing that.
Yeah.
Next, we have our facility use manual update.
Okay, we've been working on this manual with the hopes of getting it finalized by the end of March. Our goal is to have a document that has rates for pavilions and fields in one place on our website for full transparency. And this has been much needed for a while, so we're happy to get this done.
Thank you. Next, we have our summer planning update.
Okay, for spring soccer, which registration just opened on the 1st. The program runs on Monday and Wednesday evenings from 5:45 until 8. The fee is $50 per player. We're looking for coaches at each level, and if someone is interested, please contact Julie Lohr. And our summer program book, we've been working very hard on this book. I've reached out to all of the independent contractors for last year. Their responses have been trickling in, but the goal, as in prior years, is to have the book and registration open up on April 1st.
Thank you.
And as far as resolutions, I have none for this month.
Thank you. Next, we have our senior programs items, and Linda O'Brien is here to present those, starting with the senior program update.
Okay. So we're a little quieter right now just because of the weather. It's cold. It's the when it gets slippery like that, they get a little sheepish, but we continue to average 50 lunches a day. Probably 2/3 of that is a drive-through, and the other third will come in and eat in on premise. Exercise schedules continue to be offered in person and virtually, and we mentioned that we're solidifying 2022, so we already put in the official request for water aerobics because it was so popular for 2 times a week over the summer. So that's good. We added a new program. It's Yoga with Susan. That began last night, and that we had 5 people, and hopefully that will continue to grow once word gets out. So she does a really great job. MVP has told us that for the programs that they sponsor, that next month they're actually going to do away with the Zoom. So it's going to be in person only. You know, that I don't, there's only maybe a few people that I think might have an issue with that, but a lot of people like to be in person for those. So we do about, on program days, we do like 15, 18 upstairs for the 1 o'clock. And then Connie has her Tai Chi in the morning, and she's got her own little group that she's grown all by herself, and she's a volunteer. So
Wow.
yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty neat. Book group it continues to be a success, and it's growing. Our library area, we absorbed some of the cast-offs from upstairs, and we're working with Ron to get a steam cleaner and hoop those up, and it's really cute. And we use that not only for a book group, but we use that for like when Alzheimer's comes in, if they so choose, or our blood pressure groups. It gives a little bit of a private, some privacy and so on and so forth. So titles. Our title for February, we just held the book group this morning. It was American Dirt. And in case anybody's interested, they're going to do a classic To Kill a Mockingbird, and that'll be on deck for March. And we always do those the first Thursday of the month at 11 o'clock, if anybody's interested. What else? Our members continue to come in. They're playing bridge, they're playing mahjong. They have their own little group. We've gotten a handful of new members and some new interest this week, so that was kind of neat. We're actually going to start an art in. So in March on the 4th. So we used to do an art out, which would be Edie would kind of pull together and put a call out to artists, and they would do it over the weekend, and it would be done outside. But we're gonna create it and set it up for inside and see what kind of interest that we get.
So local artists would come in.
Mhm.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we're kind of, we have art that we do for seniors. That's, some of us are more casual and some of us are more professional about it. But there's a group of people out there who are older, like we are, and they're accomplished artists. And Edie's going to appeal to both, so we're going to do both.
Okay.
So, and this is one step in that direction. So, I did want to ask about blast protocol for this reason. Edie has taken over the blast to the seniors, which is great. However, we had established a habit last year where when we put our blast out, we were putting it out to the senior email group, but we also were putting it out townwide. And the reason that's important is because there are a lot of caregivers, sons and daughters, whatever, and they want to know, and it's helpful. So, for a lot of reasons. So I'm aware that there's a town-wide email group and a Rep 1 email group.
Right.
I'm not really sure what the difference is between the two, and we might want to look at that.
Oh, Rep
Because-
1 is just the people that have registered for our programs through Rep 1.
So would that skew younger then? Like, would the people
Not
in there tend
necessarily,
to
'cause
skew
I have
younger?
adult
You gotta
programs
put
in
your
there as well
microphone
for
on.
golf. We have adult programs in there as well, golf, Tai Chi, so no,
Would we
it
ever
runs
wanna
the
merge
gamut.
those with town-wide at some point?
I don't know if this can be merged, but I don't mind doing separate, like as long as I'm doing one blast, I'll just knock
So
them
is
out.
it possible that Edie could take that when we do, just for the senior
Oh,
information?
absolutely, yeah.
So there's a way for Edie to be able to do those blasts to the various groups?
Yep.
The townwide blast, because it ends up on our Twitter page and our Facebook page, and it's auto scraped, we only get 50 posts a month. So we kind of have to prioritize town stuff,
Mhm.
but I can slip a couple posts in a month for you guys.
Okay.
Okay.
So we can kind of think about what ones are the most important to everybody.
Correct.
What we like to do is to automate things as much as possible, because otherwise it gets too
And
nutty.
it's something you're going to have to send to either me or Susan. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Um,
And so if I send it to the three of you, we kind of pick and choose what ones
right.
generally.
Because if you remember, last summer we were running up against that, and I had to
Right.
delay things for days sometimes to get so that we were within our post count. So just keep that in mind.
Okay. So it's really only like a couple a month, you think?
Well, summer months probably, just because you have all the other announcements that go on because of all the events that are going on, like the concert series, the pool stuff, so The senior center is probably only gonna get 1 or 2 posts a month. for
But if
what-
we got the information to you ahead of time, we could piggyback with something you're sending out, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right, so let's do that then. And so it would be you and Susan and Lori.
Right, and Rec One has no limit, so
Okay.
whatever you want
Yeah,
is going out.
The senior one doesn't go on Facebook, it doesn't go on Twitter, so that posting thing doesn't, you can,
Okay. Does
Drive
Rec
them
One
nuts,
go on
but-
too, or is it just
No.
town one?
Ju-
doesn't?
the senior just goes to the senior list. There's 2 different email lists.
And what about Rec One?
No, that just goes to
Just
emails.
this? Okay.
Yeah.
But also keep in mind, that if you actually want people to read them, don't bombard them.
Right.
Because otherwise, they're just gonna mark it as spam and they'll never
Right.
see it.
Yep.
So,
Okay, cool. Awesome.
Right,
Thank you.
stagger, yeah.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. And that's all I have unless you guys have questions. There's February calendars here if anybody's interested, and we're online.
Could I ask one more question about the art in
Sure.
program? Is that instructional or is it like showcasing?
It's people that are kind of have they have some experience.
And they're going to be teaching art?
No, they're not going to be
They're gonna
teaching.
be-
They come in and they do it. They actually,
They show.
and then I'm not
Ah.
sure, before you would, like in the summer months, you would have these people come and they would pick places around town and they would spend a certain amount of time and they would create their art. And at the end, we would have a, I don't want to say contest because it's the wrong, kind of the wrong word, but there was a judging. Yeah, we would put them all together and people would do
Wow.
like a place, first, second, third place.
Yeah, the
And
first
then
place was the
winner
Christmas card.
Was the Christmas card
Yeah.
in town.
Oh, wow.
So I'm not sure, this being an art in, I'm not sure exactly what the rules are going to be or how she's going to structure it, but I can get more information as
That's
we go.
exciting.
Oh,
Yeah.
Edie told me what it was. It's more of a casual atmosphere where they're showing up with their easel, their own supplies, and using that big group as just a place to do their art that day.
So it's coming more from the head. It's not from your scenery,
Mhm.
your external scenery
And is it
necessarily.
one per day or is it like a group of them come in and do their own thing?
I think it's one day,
Yeah.
One per day?
Yeah.
Mhm.
one day, just one
Just
day.
one day and they all come in? at
For the
different-
art in.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
And it's limited, I think limited to 16.
Yes, there is a limit on it.
Yep.
So we can keep, it's just easier for us to manage.
And no
16
prizes.
artists?
Yep.
Oh,
And then I think she's hoping to do the art out again this
Oh,
year.
absolutely. And that's done in the fall.
And that's a
Late fall
weekend,
or
So.
late
Gotcha.
summer, yeah.
thank you.
Mhm.
Yeah. That concludes, unless anyone had more questions. Nope. Can I have a motion to adjourn? Can
Motion to adjourn.
I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Thank you.